Hey everybody, Motorport59 here. Been a while since I posted on this channel, and the main reason for that is I'm just sick of arguing with people. But I started thinking about it. I don't really argue with people on this channel. Very few liberals ever respond to anything, and the ones that have responded in the past, when I've called them out on their comment, they just don't comment back. If I can find a liberal who is willing to actually debate an issue using facts and evidence, I will do that. Because, hey, maybe I don't have all the story. I usually do, but sometimes I don't. Maybe they have something that I didn't realize. That has happened before. It doesn't mean I'm going to see things from a liberal side. And I don't care, right or wrong, I'm willing to debate people about any issue. What I'm not willing to do anymore is argue, and that is what 99.9999% of today's liberals do. All they want to do is argue. If you don't see things their way, then they'll yell at you. If you're online and they're making comments, they'll do it in capitals. You know what I mean. They're not interested in debate. They're not interested in any kind of a discourse that's going to arrive at any rational plan that they may have or support. And the riots, these people that are doing this, I don't know, I'm sure there are some people out there who are truly concerned about raids. They shouldn't be, because these raids are only focused on people who are breaking the law by entering this country illegally. And there's no excuse for that. I don't care if they want to come up here and get a better life. It's not my fault. It's not the fault of the American or the California, in my case, taxpayer, that these people live in a shithole. Whether it's Mexico or Guatemala or some other Central American country or anywhere else in the world. But let's just be honest about it. This is about people coming across the Mexican border, basically Mexicans, Guatemalans, Hondurans. This isn't about Israelis sneaking across the border or people sneaking in from Canada. There's a channel on YouTube, Australian Border Security, something like that. But it's about the customs and immigration people for checking people who are coming into Australia. Even Australians who have been out of the country for a while. They question some of these people. And I'm amazed at the number of people who try to get into Australia illegally or have been there illegally. And I was watching an episode recently, and they went after a South Korean woman who they found out through sources had been in the country illegally for over a year. And when they went out to where this person worked, the people who owned that company were Australian citizens, but they were of Asian descent. And they were riotous. They did not want those people on their property. They didn't think they had the right to be there. Listen, there isn't a country in the world that will just let you go in there. You can't do that in Mexico. You just can't go to Mexico and stay there. And you can't just go to Canada and do that. Back in the 70s, you could, when people were draft dodging. But I don't even know if Canada was down with that. But I know today that you can't just move to Canada. It's like these celebrities saying, well, I'll just move to Canada if Trump gets elected. And there were Canadian officials up there in some of the provinces that said, no, you're not. You come up here, you need to be able to prove this and that. Just like this Australia. The thing I was watching, they have to tell them how long they're going to be there. If they're going to be there, if they're on vacation, they have to have enough money to fund their vacation. If they're going to be there for 2 weeks and they only have $1,000, don't let them in. I tell them that's not enough. Oh, call my mom and have her send me some more money. No, that's not going to get it. You need to have that money on you right now. But anyway, back to these riots. And these aren't peaceful protests. I started to say, before I get sidetracked as usual, that I'm sure some of these people went to these thinking that maybe it would be a peaceful protest. But there is video evidence that these were well-funded protests. And some of these people were provided with riot gear to protect them. I don't know of any weapons that were given to people, probably some baseball bats and billy clubs, but riot gear to protect them. Why do you need riot gear at a peaceful protest? They knew these weren't going to be peaceful. It is impossible for liberals and people on that side to go have some sort of a protest or any event like that where there doesn't end up being trouble. It's just like 2020. This is it, 2020 all over again. The only difference I am seeing is that some of these cities have said we're not going to do it. I think it was in Chicago, where one of the cops told a group, a little bunch of people, this ain't 2020. And they had their billy clubs out. Some guy thought he was going to fight him, and they were whacking that dude. And they weren't doing that in 2020. The cops backed off and let the inmates run the asylum. And that's what's happening in Los Angeles. They are doubling down. Gavin Newsom saying he's going to sue Trump for sending the National Guard. He can't do that. The president runs the National Guard, not the state government. If there is a danger to American citizens, no matter where it is, and the president decides to send in the National Guard or the military, that is his prerogative. He is the commander-in-chief of our military forces. Not Gavin Newsom, not anybody else anywhere. Even if they agree with Trump and they have some argument with it, if that's what they want, Trump's the governors, if it comes down to that. So far, in Los Angeles, the only place the military is, the only place the Marines and the National Guard are stationed is at the federal building. They're not out in the street running people down. The LAPD is actually doing a pretty good job. The chief of police keeps saying they're not going to do this and they're not going to do that, but they were on horseback, dispersing crowds, tear gas, paintballs, non-lethal weapons. These things are well funded. It's obvious that this is what the people who are funding this, sending people in, this is what they want to happen. Because for them and for the Democrats, this isn't about ICE. If you think the Democrats care about illegal immigrants being here, if you think they care about them or anybody else, they don't care. Insert your favorite group, gays, lesbians, the whole LGBT, Hispanics, Israeli, they don't care about any of that. All they care about is votes and centralizing their power. And that's what this is designed. This is designed to divide us based on fear, just like they did in 2020, and it worked in 2020. And I think it definitely had an effect on the election. COVID had a bigger effect, but they don't have any of that this time. And some of the things that I'm seeing and reading where polling is being done and people are being spoken to, most of the people are opposed to this. They're not down with this. Even some Democrats they talk to, they're not down with this. Some of the leadership of some of these cities, city council members and stuff are saying, no, we can't let this continue to happen. We can't have our city be destroyed again. I don't understand people fighting for laws that have been on the books for centuries. Some of these immigration laws were enacted when America started enacting its own laws. And it's incredible that people don't want to admit that. Barack Obama campaigned on deporting illegals. He deported over 3 million illegal immigrants during his time in office, and he campaigned on it. He actually, in the primary against Hillary, he actually talked shit about George W. Bush for not having done enough about illegal immigration. And now all of a sudden it's an issue, and that's because liberals have no memory. It's worrisome. Where I live, that kind of stuff doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen here. You might have a couple of people standing on a corner with flags or signs for whatever their issue is, but we don't have those kind of big deals here. And I'm glad. And there are plenty of liberals in Bakersfield. There really are. I just think they have more sense than these knuckleheads that are doing all this other stuff in all these other places. But I don't know. What do you think about all this? Does it worry you? Do you hope it gets put down? Do you think it will be put down by local police forces? Or do you think that in the end we will have to bring in the National Guard or the military, and maybe not just Los Angeles, wherever? I don't know. Let me know what you think. Comments below. Shoot me an email at motorport59@gmail.com. Like, share, subscribe, click on the bell if you want to be notified of future content. I'll see you all later.